So Flash works very well with sound. And what I want to show you, I'm going to begin showing you a little short animation that works with sound. So I'm going to double click this and you can listen for a minute.
This ain't a story about boy meets girl, and it's not about a hero trying to save the world. This is a story about mankind and his journey, and I completed mine in an ambulance, and I got there on a gurney. But now I'm in a room with fruit and flowers in a basket, and over there in the corner, yeah, man, that's me, in the casket.
Okay, so that just gives you a little overview of working with sound in Flash. Now, the file that I have in that little animation is an AIFF file, and I have all the different components. This is a project. And the first one is the audio track. You can see that it's an AIFF file. Now, the most common file types you'll work with, AIFF is one, but MP3s will be another very popular file type that you'll work with. So let's take a look at how we go about bringing our audio files into Flash, and it's very, very, very easy. So we begin. We open up Flash, and it's as easy as coming over to here, File, Import, and we'll import it to the library. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come on over and I'm going to go to my desktop, and I have the Three Gunas file folder, and I'm going to come to my audio track and I'm going to hit open, and it's in my library. I see it importing. Now I'll open up my library and I'll pull this file out. I can see it directly in my library. Now, I could also come in here and double click. I can see my sound waves in there. And I could come in and I can even, work with the editing of this. So I could keep it as its native file. And you can see information too about the size of it. Now, you can change the compression size, and most times if it's a song, you would do MP3, and it actually lowers, does it lower it a little bit, not so much, but a lot of times it will. And this size that you're seeing is the size that it will be when it's exported as an SWF file from Flash. Now you could also use speech if it was speech. And there we have it. We'll just keep it at the default. We'll hit OK. Okay, now all we need to do once we have our sound in our library is we just take our sounds and we just drag it, and we can drop it right to the stage. It might take a couple minutes or two. Now, we could also come on in and do file import to stage. Now what we can see is I actually did insert some frames. You might not see some frames if you hadn't inserted frames, but actually this song is much longer too. So you're going to see as soon as I just keep on inserting frames, my song is going to go out. I think my song goes out to like frame pretty far actually. Even if I come to here, insert timeline, frame, voila. Okay, so it goes out pretty far. I can test my song, come on in, control play.
Mine in an ambulance, and
Okay, there we go. That was a little loud. All right, so I want to go back to the beginning. I'm going to put down my volume a little bit so I don't scare you. You can see actually as you pull the playhead over top of it, you can see that the sound actually rewinds. Okay, so you kind of can know where you are. And we can look at some different ways when we bring the sound in. So we come on into our properties panel, and let's look at some of these different options that we have with our sound. Okay, and here they are. So we can do different effects, right? We could come in, we could have it on the left channel, we could have it fade to the right, fade in, fade out. Now, we could also have it be an event. So what does that mean? That means that if someone clicks a button, it's some kind of event triggers it to happen. We could also have it as a start. Now, what does a start mean? That means that it's going to start as soon as a person comes to a certain frame. So it will start only if the playhead hits a certain frame. And same with the stop would stop at certain frames. Now, streaming is what we would use, and is what I'm going to show you in this video, is if we were syncing sound with an animation. And again, it's useful for syncing sounds with animation. The little video clip I showed you had just that. So what we see, we come into this, and I want to show you this one at work. You can see I have a whole bunch of layers. I highly recommend that you keep your sound wave in its very first in the very first frame. Okay, I'm sorry, yeah, in the very first layer. So then you can see exactly what it is that you have. So if you take a look at this video right here, it starts with the sound, and then I come into type 1. Now, what do I have here? Well, I have the title, and the title is a movie clip. I double click into the movie clip. I'm going to get my tools bar window, tools up. Where are my tools? Window, tools. There they are over here. Okay, I click on this, I double click in, now I'm in this, and you can see that what this is, it's over 60 frames, it fades in, it has a stop. Okay, so again, what did I do? I came to modify, convert to symbol, double clicked in, and created that animation. I'm going to go through a couple of these, and then I'm going to show you how I would do one. Okay, from there I come to stanza 1. I have this all stretched out on my timeline. I come through stanza 1, and you can see that my playhead is playing as I move along. Stanza 1 comes right to here. Okay, this frame, the 3 gunas, ends right here. I insert a blank keyframe and I begin the next one, and I see this next line of type. Again, I double click in and I can see that I am within this movie clip. I come into here. The movie clip is over 60 frames. It's a motion tween. It begins here with an alpha channel of 10 and it ends here with an alpha channel of 100. Come back into scene 1. Now what I have done in here is a couple of them done. So let's see if I was to do another one. This one has a little bit of an animation. All right, so let's say that we come right up to here, and this is right where things begin to change. Okay, so we have our next one right in here. We double click in, and we can see we have yet another line, and this one is, before I started this life, I made a request for Wild and Woolly Adventures. Wild and Woolly Adventures. And what I want to do here on this frame is I want to include an animation. Okay, so let's just say, okay, then we'll come and we'll do the next one. All right, so this is what I would do. This is going to be in between stanza 6. Stanza 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on in here, I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to name this one Image 2. Now, the reason why I want to put it in here is just so I can see exactly where I am. I want to be able to see where I am. This one is Image 2. Okay. Now, the Image 2 correlates with stanza 6. I'm going to double check. There's stanza 6. Excellent. All right, so what I want to do is I want to begin right in here. I'm going to control click. I'm going to insert a keyframe. And then I'm going to come all the way down till about here. And I'm going to say insert timeline. I'm going to insert frames, insert some frames. Actually, I don't think I even hit on the right thing. Hold on, Image 2, have it turned off. And I'm going to come right into right about here. And I'm going to come on up, insert timeline. Okay, all right, well, it doesn't matter. Let's insert a motion tween. We come right to here, insert. All right, the first thing we need to do is we need to import our image. Okay, so we come to File, and we want to import to stage. Now, I have the second image, which if I come in here, it's this image right here. I say Open, and here it is. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to take it, and I want to put it over to the side. I'm going to put it right on over onto the side. And what I'm going to do is I want to use a motion preset and have it fade in from the left. So I come to Window, I open up my motion presets, and I'm going to say to this, okay, we're gonna fly in. Let's see, now what we want to do, fly in from the right. So we're going to hit apply, and it's going to say it needs to be tweened. We say okay, and there we have it. We just added a slight motion tween to this. Okay, so I have the little fly in, and you can see I'm going to actually put the volume down, but you can see how it fades in over from here. Now what I want to do is I want to pull it all the way in. So I'm going to pull it right into the center. Now if I want to extend the time over which this takes place, I can just drag out this. I could even add a couple more keyframes to it, so I could come on in. We can see it move in like right into here. I could say insert, control click, right click if you're on a PC, insert keyframe position, click on this guy, come on into my properties panel, Windows properties. There's a lot of different possibilities within here, and it looks like this is my properties over here, and I'm going to even lower the alpha a little bit more. I'm working with the transparency on this. Okay, I'm not going to go too crazy because I want to show you a couple different things. All right, so there I have this next image in here. All right, and I actually want image 2 to extend out way past some of my other ones. So I'm going to insert timeline. I'm going to insert more frames. Okay, just so this image stays. Now I come down to my next line of type. And this one says, my least favorite episode was when I was fitted for a full set of dentures. So I'm going to take this type, I'm lining all the type up right in here. Now, this one is just the plain old type. So I want to do with this just like I did with everyone else. With everyone else that I did, I'm going to come to modify, convert to symbol, I'm going to convert it to a movie clip, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to double click into this movie clip, and I'm inside the movie clip, and I'm going to go out to frame 60. I'm going to come to 60, insert timeline, frame, come to frame 1, insert motion tween. I come to frame 1. This is what I've been doing with all of these. I have a motion tween here, and I'm going to start this guy when I come on to my properties, which sometimes it's hard to even find where things are. I turned it off. Turned it back on, it's down here somewhere. Actually, sometimes if it's really difficult to find stuff, you can even just, reset your workspace, okay? And that's usually a good idea to do. All right, so I can click back onto here, and I can lower this to 10%. So we come into color effects, we come to alpha. The beginning alpha with all these guys that I was starting with is 10%. Then I come to frame 60, control click, insert a keyframe, insert keyframe position. I click back onto this. I come down to my alpha. I put my alpha up to 100%. Now what I need to do too, so it doesn't just automatically keep going over and over, I need to insert a stop. Create a new layer, same thing. I come into frame 60, come to this frame, control click. I insert a keyframe, and I open up my actions panel, window actions, and I put in a stop. Okay, so there we have it. Let's take a look, see what we've done. We come to, and some of them I don't have stops on, so you can see some of the fixing I have to do. I'll play test. Dun, 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 dun. Now what I had done is I was copying and pasting. So here we go.
This ain't a story about boy meets girl, and it's not about a hero trying to save the world. This is a story about mankind and his journey, and I completed mine in an ambulance, and I got there on a gurney. But now I'm in a room with fruit and flowers in a basket, and over there in the corner, yeah, man, that's me.
Okay, what's happening there is I need to put the stop on. I didn't put the stop on that line.
And I do remember there were lots of diamonds.
Same with this one. It needs to stop.
But before I started this life, I made a request for wild and moving adventures. My least favorite episode was when I needed to be fixed for a full set of dentures. Now,
all right, so there we have it. Pretty easy working with creating an animation and working with sound. I'll leave you with that. Thanks for listening.